Shocking. My smart mirror caught her. $1.2 million scam. I died for 10 minutes. They called it a quiet transition. My smart mirror called it expedited probate, then read their $1.2 million heist plan out loud while I was still eating hospital jello. At my welcome home party, I pressed play, and the mirror, bless that nosy rectangle, projected their meeting notes like a PTA slideshow for felonies. The notary uncapped her pen like it was movie night. My wife smiled at a Windows crash noise. Bomb drop? They labeled me inventory. Discussed capacity letters. Scheduled a signature demo like I'm a Labrador with opposable thumbs. The money flow? House, trust, rental, investment, all piping into a mailbox LLC called Argyle Ridge Partners. It sounded like a sweater vest with a felony and the charisma of wet cardboard. You want the rewind? Good. I didn't confront. I documented. I automated. I turned the house into a haunted spreadsheet. At 3:07 a.m., when the lights dimmed, the thermostat whispered, "Brr, consequences," and the mirror cleared her throat. Rewind. Marriage vibes and the 10-minute goodbye. On paper, we were sturdy. She liked vibes. I liked backups. She called my off-site drives dramatic. I called them Tuesday. We weren't fighting. We just ran different operating systems. I was Windows Update installing at 2 a.m. She was remind me later until 2037. The day my heart took a coffee break, it was sitcom timing. One I'm fine, then the floor. 10 minutes gone, 3 days of hospital, a month of monitoring. I woke with a throat like sandpaper and a wristband that said fall risk, which felt rude. She was supportive. She cried. She brought lip balm. She said, "Just rest." Our friend Lewis appeared with smoothies and a folder thick enough to be a personality. Continuity, he said, like Amazon Prime, but for probate. Stakes? House with equity. Dad's trust trickling into a brokerage. The rental that still smelled like hope and old carpet. Her eyes sparkled when we said timeline. She said, "Don't worry." I believed her. Then she started stacking kindness on top of lock screens. She managed my meds and calendar like an air traffic controller. Took my phone to reduce strain. Rearranged pillows and accounts with equal gentleness. Every time I reached for a password, she reached for a reason. I chalked it up to care. She nudged me toward naps. I obeyed. Meanwhile, Lewis drifted in with a legal pad and the emotional temperature of a printer test page. Partner adjacent, he said. Buzzwords like continuity plan, risk mitigation, family clarity. I said, "Can I have pudding?" He laughed and laid a pen on my tray like it was proposing. I went home to a house that hugged me with blankets and greeted me with new lock codes. The mirror greeted me too, in that spa day voice. Welcome home. Please enjoy expedited probate mode. The thermostat set itself to concerned cardigan and offered a 3:07 a.m. chill labeled accountability. Hospital haze to home static. Discharge day felt like graduation, but with more Velcro. She buckled me into the car, adjusted the seat, the radio, my future. At home, she had color-coded my recovery. Meds at 12, walk at 2, oxygen at night. She scanned me like TSA with a wedding band. I wanted to be grateful. I was. I also felt like a highly managed houseplant. The microtells arrived like spam texts you almost ignore. A new locked drawer in the office. Whispered calls in the hall with someone saved as Argyle, like she was networking with a sweater. Browser history that looked like it went to the gym and then wiped down the equipment twice. My bank app claimed maintenance whenever I opened it near her. Apparently the bank also needed a nap. Our estate attorney went on leave right after Mr. Smoothie began visiting at odd hours with taller folders. He never invoiced. He called invoices distractions. Cool story, Lewis. Group Project Energy. 3 nights in, the bathroom mirror pinged. That's not a sentence I expected to say outside haunted films or Sephora. A notification rode across the glass. 2:17 a.m. Wellness review with household care team. Notes available. I do not do wellness reviews at 2:17 a.m. unless it's to review whether leftover lasagna is still edible. I tapped it. It asked for a pin. She appeared behind me with mint tea like a stage cue. Don't fuss with settings, she smiled. Mirrors are for healing. Then she toggled something, and the notification vanished like it owed her money. I smiled. I nodded. I opened the Notes app on my phone and started a document called, "If I'm Paranoid, Why is the Mirror Logging Meetings?" The house had more to say. The smart speaker offered me a bedtime story with new features. The thermostat suggested sleep-optimized dips between 3 and 4 a.m., aka brr consequences. The door locks had a social life I wasn't invited to. At 1:03 a.m., the front door whispered a mechanical click. I checked the log the next afternoon. Entry via guest code. The lock added its own snarky memo. Paperwork o'clock. Guess whose code? Lewis. Midnight paperwork is a genre, apparently. I asked my wife the softest version of a hard question. Hey, who's Argyle? She blinked a little too slow. It's a fabric, she said. Laundry? I tried to joke. Do our finances have a sweater on? She didn't laugh. She said, rest. So I did the quiet thing. I called our bank from the pharmacy parking lot and had a nice conversation about birds and fraud flags. The rep put me on hold long enough to develop intimacy. When she came back, she spoke softly, like reading to a skittish cat. There have been test transfers, round numbers, to a new payee. She spelled it. Argyle Ridge Partners. My stomach wrote a complaint letter. I went home and asked the mirror politely to open settings. It asked for an admin pin. This is the part where arrogance has a ringtone. They never changed the default. I typed 000. Doors opened. There it was. Body metrics plus audio notes toggled on 2 weeks ago. Autosave to Home Hub. Enabled. Transcription. Always. The interface practically rolled its eyes. PTA slideshow for felonies. Enabled. I pressed play on a sample titled Quiet Transition. My mirror, my traitor, my ally. Read in crisp, helpful monotone. Capacity letter to expedite probate. Inventory him. Ease signatures. Demonstrate hand over hand so he can complete. It said my name like a speed bump. The file list looked like a syllabus for a class called Crimes, but make it cozy. Expedited probate, draft A. Doctor's letter, cognitive concern template. Argyle Ridge Partners, wirepath. Broker, trust transfer plan. One titled Signature Demo, video. I didn't click that one. I wasn't ready to watch my ghost signing. I exported copies. I hashed the files because boring beats dramatic every weekday. Check some man. I backed up to a drive labeled tax receipts because evil fears boredom. I set the mirror back to soothing clouds and told it we'd talk later. They were meeting without me. They were planning with my passwords, my oxygen tank hissing like a metronome. But the house had started chewing, and I wanted to know what else it was willing to spit out. As the door closed behind her that night, I whispered to the hallway camera I forgot we owned, "Sing." The thumbnail winked. The HVAC sighed. The thermostat dipped like a guilty conscience. And somewhere in the home hub, the speakers were warming up to harmonize. The smart siege wasn't loud yet, but it was live and petty. The smart mirror opens its mouth. I waited until the house did its 11:58 p.m. yawn. She stepped out for chamomile. Lewis's car idled like a raccoon in Cologne. I opened the mirror with the gentlest villain click. Admin. Settings. Logs. The interface had that smug spa font that says, "We're healing," while simultaneously subpoenaing your soul. Body metrics plus audio notes. Toggle. On. 2 weeks. Nightly. Autosave to Home Hub. Cross-synced to my cloud because I am, at my core, a petty librarian. I tapped Quiet Transition again, then scrolled. The index read like an itinerary for a guided betrayal tour run by interns. Capacity, note template.ekex. Expedited probate draft B PDF. Argyle Ridge wiremap.png. Signature demo.mova. Notary script final.kx, which is historically where crime lives. I hit play on the top one called Kitchen, 217 Wellness Review. My mirror, bless her, started narrating my own heist as if she were reading bedtime stories to a courthouse. Female voice, my wife, crisp. Meeting chair confident. We'll need the cognitive concern letter on letterhead. Keep adjectives gentle. Diminish stamina. Ambiguous attention. Avoid incapacitated. That spooks people. Male voice, Lewis, attempting competence. Timeline aligns with trust review. If we can stage a signature session, we'll resolve the deed. Inventory. He said inventory like he was ordering bulk staples for a school fundraiser. The mirror transcribed, then added attitude. Inventory, house, brokerage, rental. Split flows. Argyle first, then escrow, then cousin. Note. Amateur hour. Cousin who? I pinched to zoom the transcript. The system helpfully attached timestamps and device IDs like it was auditioning for forensic files. I opened Argyle Ridge wiremap.png, a tidy little swim lane diagram that looked like a 7th grade PowerPoint. Joint account to consulting, to Argyle Ridge Partners LLC, to escrow ending at a title company whose logo was a lighthouse in denial. Notes on the side. Cousin, broker, keep listing quiet. Coming soon. The mirror hovered a tooltip that basically said, PTA slideshow for felonies. I whispered to the glass, you're adorable. The mirror, unbothered, offered me share options. Email, drive, send to counsel. The arrogance of whoever coded this. Next, doctor's letter, cognitive concern template. It was a Mad Libs. Insert patient name. Insert date of incident. Insert phrases like gentle confusion, intermittent follow-through, needs assist for complex decisions. The footer still had a watermark. Draft, clinic demo. They didn't even pay for the template. Piracy is for pirates, Brenda. Then the filet mignon, signature demo.move. I pressed my lips together and watched the thumbnail silently for a beat. I pressed play. Camera angle, my dining table. Paper stack, a Sharpie with stage fright. Lewis's hands framing forms like a creepy wedding planner. His voice, guide the pen, hand over hand if necessary. We'll keep it compassionate. Compassionate forgery. Love that subgenre. My wife, he signs slow. Don't talk too much. He gets overwhelmed. Mirror transcript. Set a we did it tone, followed by a smiley face, which I choose to interpret as a confession. The caption underneath popped up on its own. Crimes, but make it cozy. I paused the video, scrubbed frame by frame, and screen-grabbed serial numbers, footer codes, and the notary seal slug, which, fun twist, belonged to the same notary invited to my welcome home party. RSVPs and felonies, one-stop shop. I backed out to the list and noticed a folder I hadn't clocked. Home Hub Exports. Inside, smart speaker transcripts, door logs, thermostat schedules. The house had a diary, and it annotated. I opened a speaker file labeled Living Strategy Call. Recording pops. My wife whispering, sell the rental first. He can't climb stairs to see it if we stage it. Lewis. Wire to Argyle. Round numbers. Put consult in memo. My mirror piped the text. Consult. Round numbers. Sure, Jan. Then added, I don't remember enabling sarcasm mode, but I respect her. Door lock log. 1:03 a.m. Guest code. Lewis. 1:37 a.m. Guest code. Exit. The lock appended its own commentary. Midnight paperwork with smoothies. My house filing their little noir. Another file. Thermostat, sleep optimization. The curve drops to 61 at 3:07 a.m. Rises at 3:44. Perfect window for strategy chills. The mirror tagged it. Regret cycle. I opened title company intro.msg. Email body, attached draft warranty deed for review. No need to contact owner, he's recovering. My mirror displayed metadata like a proud tattletale. IP address. Device. Drafted by Brenda's tablet 2. I kissed the glass with my breath like a sports fan. She fogged. We were both emotional. Then a brand new ping at the top. Bathroom, wellness review, live. They were downstairs. Tonight. I tapped. Lewis, we're close. Your cousin has the listing copy. My wife? Mirrors covered, right? Lewis, yep. Cut to me. In a bathroom. Watching the bathroom listen. Peak modern marriage. She continued. Notaries coming Sunday. Everyone loves a party. Lewis whispered. You're sure we can call him inventory on paper? She. It's an internal label. He'll never see it. Mirror. The transcript even added a parenthetical. Reader. He saw it. I hit share. I hashed the batch because I am no longer a man. I am a checksum. I exported everything. checksum man. Then I did the ugliest, best thing. I toggled announcements. Custom phrase, don't forget the signature demo. Schedule. When the house hears strategy, whisper it. I set lights to dim at 3:07. I set the speakers to breathe like a guilty conscience. I set the thermostat to regret. And for dessert, I renamed the home hub. Argyle sees you. Petty thriller mode. Armed. Digital forensics mode. The house tells all. I put the house in interview mode. No lamps, no feelings, just logs. First stop, the smart speaker archive. Buried in a folder called Guided Serenity, which is exactly where criminals hide spreadsheets. I opened a transcript labeled Tuesday Strategy, Living. It read like a crime podcast that forgot to hire actors. Her voice, sell the rental first. No open house, private showing. He can't handle crowds. Lewis, wire to Argyle Ridge Partners, round numbers. Label, consult. The speaker tagged speaker IDs, time codes, and a helpful weather note like light rain, medium felony. I exported, hashed, and dragged it into a folder named Afterlife Admin because petty keeps me warm. Door locks next. The log showed 1:03 a.m. Guest code, Lewis. 1:37 a.m. Exit. Then 2 days later, another cameo. 12:54 a.m. Entry. Reason, paperwork. The lock added a geo-stamped note. He had the audacity to share his location with my deadbolt. I downloaded the CSV and highlighted paperwork like it owed me rent. Thermostat. This demon had choreography. Scheduled dips at 3:07 a.m., right on the mirror's wellness hour. Down to 61, up at 3:44, a shame sauna in reverse. I overlaid the temperature curve with the speaker transcripts. Every whisper about capacity lined up with igloo o'clock. I screen capped that duet and labeled it Frosted Intentions. Cameras, just thumbnails, because the privacy mode they enabled was more like a suggestion. Hallway reflections. The mirror's glossy face catching silhouettes counting, assets with their fingers like Sesame Street for embezzlers. I grabbed the frame where Lewis practiced sliding a folder under a coaster so it wouldn't scratch my conscience. Bank alerts. I resuscitated them with a new email rule that shouted into my soul. Pings appeared like popcorn. Test transfers, $500, $1,000, $4,000. Always tidy, always consult. A new payee, Argyle Ridge Partners, LLC. I ran the payee through the state registry. Registered agent, a mailbox store wedged between a tanning salon and a place that sells knives for fun. Filing date? Last month. The partners were vibes. Title emails surfaced courtesy of my hub's overachieving cash. Draft deed attachments. A note to a title rep. Owner is recovering. I handle communications. The footer boasted a logo of a lighthouse trying not to see shipwrecks. I pulled the message ID, IP path, and the device fingerprint. Brenda's tablet 2, our favorite criminal intern. Then the notary calendar invite. Sunday, signature session. The subject line included a party emoji. I tasted metal. I forwarded the 5 EES to my attorney's associate, the caffeine goblin, who replied in 6 minutes with a preservation letter template and a heart emoji. I choose to read as, bury them politely. I mapped money next. Joint to Consultco, to Argyle, to escrow. I traced a path to a cousin broker whose LinkedIn tagline said, I make dreams close. Spreadsheets make them retract. I built a flow diagram with arrows photobombing their scheme, then printed it just to smell the inevitability. The mirror's audio index had a new upload. Kitchen, proof of capacity. I hit play. Lewis, we'll say just sign here and praise his progress. My wife. If he stumbles, I'll say the doctor approved. A cognitive concern letter will support. The mirror kindly appended a file link. Cognitive concern fillable.ex. They'd left the font as default. Calibri, the voice of minor crimes. I checked the router logs because, yes, I am that man now. Midnight traffic from Brenda's tablet to a doctor letter template site, trial account, 30-minute session, download completed. A separate ping to a notary stamp lookup. I cross-referenced the timestamp with the thermostat's blizzard and the lock's raccoon hour. Perfect triangle. I labeled it crop circle of stupid. A quiet thrill settled. The kind that sounds like hand sanitizer clicking shut. Chain of custody. I ran a script that zipped, salted, and checksummed every export. I printed the hash sheet because boring is how you win. I named the USB receipts in caps. I slid it into a fireproof envelope like tucking in a baby named Consequences. Then I called bank compliance. The rep went from, "How can I help?" to "Sir," when I read memos aloud. She placed a fraud watch, a courtesy hold on payee changes, and added an alert note. Contact owner and counsel prior to title or escrow disbursement. The hold music sounded like someone wiping fingerprints. I emailed the title company with a friendly process question and seek counsel. Polite panic replies in under 10 minutes. We'll flag the file. No action without verified authorization. I replied with gratitude and a PDF that smiled in Helvetica. I drafted 4 preservation letters: mirror vendor, hub provider, the mailbox LLC's agent, and tanning salon knife plaza's upstairs landlord for fun. Standard language. Retain logs, backups, device images. No threats. Just the promise of sunlight. Last thing, I taught the house a new trick. When it hears the word probate, it whispers back, "Paperwork loves sunlight." When it hears Argyle, it turns on the hallway camera LED for 1 second. A blink. A conscience. When Lewis enters at 1:03, the thermostat dips 2 degrees, just to taste his integrity. I leaned on the island, hands flat, forehead cool. The house had sung. Not a ballad, a ledger. And ledgers don't forgive. They reconcile.